Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Change of Shift podcast, where nursing meets the internet. I am your host, Sean Dent. The goal of this podcast is to solve problems, review topics, and share actionable information that encompasses the professional and personal lives of healthcare professionals and nurses. Subscribe, download, and listen while we discuss current events, impactful stories, and invaluable lessons from the front lines of healthcare. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to all my returning fans, and a hi, hello, how are you to my first-time listeners. Today's episode is extra. I don't want to say extra special, but it's definitely extra. I normally release a topic, release an episode once a week, usually throw it out there on Wednesday afternoons, but for those of you who know anything about me over the past several weeks to now this is going on month 2, I've been laid up with an injury and recovering from knee surgery, so I got some time on my hands. Thought I'd talk a little bit about me today. Everybody knows that I'm a blogger, been blogging for 10 years. Everybody knows that I'm a nurse practitioner. Then again, not everybody. I'm not that popular. If you don't know already, you can check all this information out on my website, SeanDent.com. But nurse practitioner, been a nurse 10 years, been a nurse blogger 10 years, and a green behind the ears podcaster. I have worked in just about every aspect of nursing. Worked in the offices for a little while. I have worked in just about every critical care setting. I take that back. I haven't worked everywhere. I have flirted in long-term rehab when I got pulled, but as for working, it's always been in the critical care arena. Spent a lot of time in PACU, surgery. I get around. Today's topic is 10 little known things that you don't know about me or that most people don't know about me. I, of course, am a male nurse or a MRS or whatever else we're calling ourselves these days. I just like to call myself a nurse, but male nurse nonetheless. These are 10 things that are not very popular, or should I say, maybe I haven't divulged. We're going to jump right into these. I don't want to bore you. 10 little known things about me. First one is, my very first job, I was a lifeguard and a swimming instructor in high school. The very first job where I had to fill out a W-2 form and actually got a printed on a piece of paper paycheck by the government was as a lifeguard and swimming instructor. I was a swimming athlete, a swimmer and a diver for 4 years. Ended up being a coach. Ended up being an instructor. I spent a lot of my time in my high school years inside of the pool area. So my very first job was as a lifeguard. I spent probably 8 months of my year as a high schooler in the high school pool. Probably says a lot about me why I still love the water. Number 2, I almost pursued a nursing career in obstetrics, OBG, YN, OB area. When I was in nursing school, I was fascinated by fetal heart tones. So I spent a great deal of time with one of my instructors. Ended up picking it up fairly quickly, liked the idea of it. It came easy to me. And then when I went to do my clinical rotations, realized that it was a little uncomfortable for me. Now, granted, there are plenty men out there who work in the OBGYN world, many men, male nurses out there, but to break that barrier in the area that I lived in would have been very difficult. I ended up doing a critical care rotation the next semester, and then the deal was sealed after that. So I came very close to going into OBGYN. I'm not sure what my life would be like had I done that. Number 3, I was a bouncer in college. Big surprise there. My first round of college back in the early 90s when I was in exercise and sports science. Worked at a bar for 3 to 4 years. Was a bartender, a bar back, and a bouncer. That produced some interesting stories in my life. Let me just say that it was a lot of fun. Number 4. Little known things you didn't know about me is that I did not own my first vehicle until I was a senior in college. I got around by other people's vehicles, borrowing vehicles, hitching rides, buses, and my good old-fashioned bicycle before I was a senior and had to borrow money or ask someone to help me purchase a car. If we're being transparent here, it was a Dodge Neon. Oh my. But I digress. Number 5, 10 little known things about me. Now, this one it might be a little bit more well known, is that I was actually attacked at knife point, and I'm lucky to be alive. So I have the scar to prove it that goes across my windpipe. Scar is almost gone now because the scar is over 10 years old. But yeah, someone tried to shorten my lifespan at the blade of a Swiss Army knife. That's a story for another time, though. I'd love to tell that story again. I'm very lucky to be alive. Number 6, I'm ambidextrous. I can write with my right hand. I swing a baseball bat with my... I'm right-handed when I swing my baseball bat, but then I throw with my left hand. And if you were to spike a volleyball, I spike a volleyball with my left hand. I have no idea how that happened, but I am sort of ambidextrous. Can I write with my left hand? Heck no. Number 7, little known things about me. I hated coffee in college. Holy cow, did I hate coffee. Hated the smell of it. Hated the smell of the grounds. Hated everything about it. And then one of those fateful all-nighters, I decided to try coffee, and maybe I was just too tired and didn't care or had the right taste. Since then, the rest has been history. I am now a coffee addict. So it is acquired taste. Number 8, my favorite dessert is my great-grandmother's cheesecake. My great-grandmother was nicknamed Bubba, and rest her soul. She made the greatest cheesecake known to man from scratch. Everything was from scratch. She bought nothing pre-made. It was the bomb. And number 9, little known things about me. Prior to marrying my wife, prior to moving in with my wife, I had moved and lived in over 15 different places. Now, not different states, just different places in different states. 15 times! I don't even want to explain that one. I made a lot of stupid mistakes, a lot of dumb decisions, and I just really didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And last but not least, of the 10 little known things about me is that I hate spinach to this day. I can't stand spinach. I could never be Popeye. My family and friends love spinach. They use it at holiday gatherings. Blech, can't stand it. Hate spinach. I even know when spinach is in a food, and even if it's in the food and I can't even taste it, or you're supposed to not taste it, I can't eat the food. Spinach and I just don't agree. 10 things about me. Quick, down, and dirty. Thanks for listening, guys. All my loyal fans, thanks for coming back every week. And once again, welcome to all my first-time listeners. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you like what you heard, be sure to tell somebody. Love for you to share my podcast with somebody. It doesn't even have to be someone in the healthcare field. Quick recap of last week's episode we're kind of overlaying here. This is a quick, down and dirty extra. But the last episode that currently is posted is my interview with John Hawes. So go check that out. A little bit of technical issues throughout. Spliced it and weaved it together, and you get to learn a lot of great information from John Hawes, who's a fellow nurse. This has been the Change of Shift podcast, where nursing meets the internet. You can find us out on the changeofshift.com, and you can find me out on SeanDent.com. I have a website chock full of social media information for nurses, as well as numerous social media accounts. Very active on my Facebook fan page right now, releasing a daily video of random nursing stuff, but I take requests. Hashtag it out there as AskTheNP, and I will answer your questions in a video. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. This has been the Change of Shift podcast, and as always, I close my episode off by saying, make sure you check your own pulse first.